This program is based on the experience of my life. I have personally dealt with springtails, that's columbella, also known as snow fleas, and I've dealt with skin fungus, I've dealt with hot tub rash, I've dealt with chronic Lyme disease, Morgellons, and what else? Just about everything. Strongyloides cervicalis, I've come out on the other end. I've got my life back. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want, and I go wherever I want and hug anybody I want. So you can get your life back. Many people have used this program to do exactly that. And that's what we're here for. We're here to motivate you. It's based on the diet I discovered. If without that diet, I think I might have jumped over a cliff or something a long time ago, because life just was not bearable. And everything I tried worked for a few days and then stopped working until I discovered this diet, and that's made the incredible amount of difference. So it's not about doing the diet, it's about making the diet work, because over the years we know the diet does work if you make it work. And that means sometimes you might have some sensitivities or something, like, for instance, most people can have spelt, which is a certain kind of flour. Most people can have rice. But on occasion we find somebody who, for them, for some reason or other, spelt or rice or maybe coffee isn't going to work for them. So keep a diary. And I had gotten an email, well, just this morning, from a lady from Europe. I forget, Norway, I think, was the country. She emailed me, and she was quite despondent and upset and angry because she had spent all this money to purchase our vitamins, our multiple vitamins, and some other things that we sent to her. And she claimed that after she took the multiple vitamins that she became more active. The parasites became more active. Well, hey, it's not the multiple vitamins. They are the best in the world. If you look at those ingredients, there's nothing on there but vitamins. And when it says other ingredients, it says absolutely none. This is the only multiple vitamin in the whole wide world that is only a vitamin. So if something happened, it's not the vitamin unless there's a specific sensitivity to a particular vitamin, which has nothing to do with skin parasites. That's another issue. So the diary is important. Keep a diary. What you eat, when you eat, notice how you feel afterwards. If you're eating foods that come out of cans or packaged or whatever, make sure you check those ingredients. There are over 50 different ways that soy shows up. They are all listed. So go through there. Be like the detective and look and make sure there are no ingredients. People read. Oh, we want to know how. So you read something and says, hey, this is great for parasites. So you buy it and you try it out. Could be pumpkin seeds. Hey, forget it. Do not go outside the diet. It's very detailed, very specific, not Pacific. We are on the East Coast here. This is the Atlantic Ocean. That's the Pacific. You know, it's very specific, very detailed. No other diet is as detailed as this one, and it works. So make it work. The other thing that might be an issue for the lady is the environment. These things, you know, you're a walking, talking, breeding parasite machine until you get your body and your life back. And the diet, well, let me tell you what the FDA requires me to inform you before I do go a lot further, and that is the FDA says that before you start the diet or accept any of my recommendations, so each of you, as you come into the program, you get access to a questionnaire. You complete the questionnaire and send it back to me. If somehow you missed it, you email me. Any email you get from me, all you got to do is return and say, hey, would you please send the questionnaire? And I'll send it right out to you. I will provide you an educated assessment of what you're dealing with. We'll look at and see the possibility of Morgellons, Strongyloides, columbella, skin fungus. and so forth. And then I will provide you, you can do this on your own. You can go through and read the entire book and make notes and come up with the same thing that I will send you, and that will be a concise set of recommendations as to what specific things you would want to do to get your life back. So before you start those detailed recommendations, you are to discuss them along with the diet with your doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you may be presently experiencing. All right. Now the AMA, I'm not a trained doctor. I didn't spend umpty-ump years in college studying anatomy and medications and stuff like that. And Robin isn't, Ethel isn't, none of us are trained physicians. We didn't go through all that training. So we are not here. We're not allowed to diagnose you. We're not here to do that. We're not here to treat you. That's what doctors do. We're not here to mitigate your symptoms or cure you, okay? There is no cure for these organisms. So even the idea of having a cure is out the window. There's no cure, all right? You get your life back and you stay away from them. And if you're ever reinfected, you go back and read the book and get your life back quickly instead of it taking years and years and years. So we're not here to treat, cure, mitigate, or diagnose you. What we can do is educate you. What we all can do is educate you how to get them out of your body utilizing the diet, how to clean them out of your skin utilizing bathing, and we're not here to sell you on anything either, okay? I'm not here to sell you on this program. You go to debridingsoap.com, you read what it's about. If it looks like this makes sense to you, we're here for you, okay? We're not here to sell you things that are in the store. Turns out they're the best around, but I got my life back without them. Years and years ago, I used hot scalding baths and Epsom salts and things like that, and ammonia to clean them out of your environment. So we can educate you how to clean them out of your body, clean them out of your environment with various disinfectants, and clean them out of your skin through the bathing protocols that we have. So that's what we're allowed to do, and we're also allowed to recommend targeted supplements in order for you to get your immune functioning and health back. And our supplements are very targeted. In fact, when I listen to other experts, noted physicians such as Dr. Klinghardt, talk about Lyme disease, they seem to talk in circles. Okay, I had chronic Lyme disease. It almost killed me. And Lyme disease, for instance, Lyme disease? Okay. Morgellons, a.k.a. Lyme disease. The research reported by the Morgellons Foundation finds that 90%, their research is only pilot. In other words, real research would take 1,000 people. They might study 12 people. But they find 90% of those with Morgellons have Lyme disease. A spirochete. Bad news. Chronic. Well, back to Dr. Klinghardt. He's an expert in Lyme disease, and he goes into all the things. The one thing that's common and typical is Lyme disease loves toxicity. They like mercury, they like pesticides, they like cadmium, they like all this stuff that's accumulated in your cellular structure. They swim. It's like a cesspool, and the more toxicity, the healthier they are. And Dr. Klinghardt goes into all these things to clean up your cellular mechanism, and he doesn't even know about glutathione. No, and even years and years ago, Linus Pauling, a Nobel Prize winner, was recommending taking 8,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C to deal with a common cold. Well, he didn't know about glutathione either, because he didn't know that if you boost your glutathione, you don't need 8,000 milligrams of vitamin C. You don't need all this other stuff, because glutathione recycles vitamin C, vitamin A. You need less alpha lipoic acid. It does so many things to you. But maybe why these people don't know about or think to mention glutathione is they think that maybe there's nothing really you can do about it. Maybe nothing that you and I can practically do about it other than go to the hospital and get a shot of glutathione. Because if you go to the health food store and buy glutathione over the counter, well, first of all, there's ingredients in there that are going to be contrary to the King diet. Secondly, you're only going to boost your glutathione levels by maybe 15 to 30%, which, you know, that's not bad. But looking at Max 1, the product that we utilize, 270%, a huge difference. And when you boost glutathione, boom, out goes all the cadmium, the pesticides, all that junk. It cleans up the cesspool, gets rid of it all. Lyme disease has no happy medium anymore. And this particular formulation to boost glutathione has a natural sugar, D-ribose, which actually feeds the mitochondria, which is fantastic, because the mitochondria are the fuel cells of every cell of our body. And when they're happy, they produce ATP, and everything works. And glutathione is just there like a happy little guy making everything work. He's like the conductor, you know, da 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 da. We got our cells working. We got our cell working. That's glutathione. Okay. Anybody got a question? Open up somebody's line.
Oh, okay, this is Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, I have a couple quick questions for you. Does heat break down the debriding soap? Because I live in Arizona and I don't have a bathtub, so I just got a big tub to put on my back patio, and it's getting pretty hot out right now. So I'm just wondering if heat will break down the debriding soap.
Absolutely not. Heat will not break it down.
Okay.
No way. It is liquid carbon. You can't break down liquid carbon.
Okay, great. And then I'm a little confused on what you can use in the electrostatic sprayer. I have bird mites, and I just ordered the 3 pesticide things, you know.
Well, the triple pesticide you can't use in the electrostatic sprayer. You have to use that in a regular sprayer, and you only use that every 11 days, not more frequently, every 11 days. Now, every day in the electrostatic sprayer, you could use enzymes by themselves, and if you go to the chart in our store, it tells you how to dilute it to use in the electrostatic sprayer. So you can use enzymes by itself. Never mix enzymes with anything else. Enzymes are live organisms, and disinfectants, nature's gift, or anything will kill them. Okay, so that reduces the effectiveness of them. You can use...
Can you mix it with Metaclean?
No. No. You cannot mix, do not mix enzymes with anything else. Borax, do not mix just enzymes. If you're going to do your laundry, just do enzymes, nothing else. Don't do nature's gift, don't do laundry soap, just do enzymes. And then later on, you can do a second wash with the soap, nature's gift laundry soap and borax or anything else that you want, but just do enzymes only by themselves. Now, back to the electrostatic sprayer. There are several disinfectants. Do not use ammonia. Ammonia will corrode it like crazy, all right? So there's Benefect, which is a natural organic thyme-based disinfectant. It's fairly expensive, but you can spray that on your countertops. You can spray it on food. It's fine. You can lick it off of your fingers. It's fine. It won't hurt you. That's what it is. Metaclean is another disinfectant. It is a chemical disinfectant. That one you don't want on food stuff or on countertops or where there might be food. That's a lot less expensive. It's a chemical base. We also have a antimicrobial. And the antimicrobial can be mixed with, but the antimicrobial you only use once every 3 months. Okay, you don't, it's not something you do every day like you would with the thyme or the Metaclean. You were about to say something, Robin?
I talked to someone this week who used the antimicrobial with the enzymes and sprayed all her kitchen cabinets. And then she did testing because she has bird mites. And the kitchen cabinets were totally clear.
That's great, but I wouldn't recommend using the enzymes with the Metaclean. I mean with the antimicrobial.
Oh.
No, because it's carbon. It'll break the enzymes down. So I would apply them separately at different times. I wouldn't put them together.
What about essential oils, Richard?
Do not use essential oils in the electrostatic sprayer because they may degrade the gaskets.
They're too thick also.
Can you mix the enzymes with essential oil in another type of...
Oh, yes. Essential oils are great. I mean, I've mixed essential oils with ammonia, but you can mix them with the Benefect is basically thyme, so you wouldn't want, it would be duplicity there. And I wouldn't see any benefit in using them with Metaclean, but you can mix them with Nature's Gift and spray them in a regular sprayer. That would be great. In fact, that's how you would want to do. You wouldn't want to necessarily take an essential oil and put it in water and spray it because it would separate. If you mix the Nature's Gift with the essential oil, then it would disperse in the water, and that would be good. You wouldn't have to constantly shaking it up to keep them from separating. Any other questions?
So wait, did you say you could mix the
Nick, your line is open, Nick.
essential oils? Yes.
Thank you. What's that, Robin?
You can mix essential oils with the enzyme cleaner.
No.
Okay.
No, I would not. No, enzymes only by themselves, nothing else. Okay. Yes, Nick.
Yeah, boss. How you doing? I've been, like you said, I've been bathing and stuff like that. I couldn't get a hold of I got a hold of a doctor that put me on gabapentin and doxepin that's helping because I needed that because I needed to be stable to be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed something fast, and I couldn't get to your doctor that you referred me to right away. I'm going to do that as well, but in the meantime, the stuff that you sent me, I've been bathing and I've been putting on lotion at night, but I still see a lot of black specks on my pillow and stuff like that, and I got to wash my pillow.
You might be seeing them for months.
Okay, and the static sprayer I ordered, it's on its way, but I got to get the cream. Robin said to get the cream, clean, or whatever it is.
Metaclean
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will that help? Will that help?
Yes.
That help?
Yes. I would. If you haven't ordered it yet, I would recommend the Benefect rather than the Metaclean. Like I say, the Benefect is completely organic. It's completely. It's non-chemical. I don't know if you're still in the hotel rooms or if you found.
No. My mother begged me to come back. Now I'm in fear that she's going to get it, and she's got 2 dogs, so I got to go right into my room and bathe, and she's confused why I'm spraying. I stopped spraying ammonia because she's confused.
Well, the Benefect will smell better, and it'll be more efficient to use that with the electrostatic sprayer. You'll have to. I mean, she will see you only spraying like 15 or 20 seconds if she ever sees you at all, because that's how fast it is with the electrostatic sprayer, as opposed to a handheld sprayer where you're going to be spraying for maybe 10 minutes to cover everything.
Right. The other thing is that it'll be okay for me to take your supplements. What we talked about, what I talked about with Chris
yesterday.
I don't know if he told you.
Started supplements yesterday.
No, I don't have no supplements.
Oh, okay.
What Chris said, you wanted me to start with just the soap and the stuff that you sent me, the Nature's Gift gel. It's like a gel. I'm not sure what it is. I put it on my body. That helps, but the fact is I'm getting in my mind that there's no cure for this, and I got to deal with this. That's the bottom line.
Well, we say there's no cure for it because even though you'll get your life back, like I have my life back, I do everything I want, but I can be reinfected anytime. And the good news is, and I have been reinfected over the last 3 months, maybe 2 or 3 times, and it's a non-event almost. I know exactly what to do. It's over and done in less than an hour or two. If I didn't know what to do, I'd be reinfected and be in bad shape like everybody else is here. So these are organisms. You can't. The only way you can be cured of organisms is if you get them off of the planet, and we're not going to get them off of the planet.
Yes, how are you?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was calling to ask about, this is kind of weird. This weekend on my elbow, just all of a sudden it appeared totally like white bumps. And luckily I was close to the rubbing alcohol, and I just poured it on it, and I ran my finger over it, and I got all these little things out of it. And then I could do it all on the back of the arm there. Is that something like the columbella, or do you know what that might be?
Well, are you on the diet? Have you started?
No, I haven't started the diet. I'm just a rookie on the debriding soap. I'm about to order all your vitamins.
Okay. Well, there could be a tremendous number of things that could be. We can't nail it down as to what it is. People send me pictures of this stuff. There's no way of telling what it is. But all I know is that when the diet kicks in, and when you're using the debriding soap or any of our creams or lotions like the Super MSM gel or any of the skin cream, you apply these creams and to that area, and it will clean it out within days. It will be gone, clean. We can't say it's going to cure you, because that's a medical term, but we can say it's going to clean you. Your skin is going to be cleaned, okay? It's as simple as that. So there's a cream that's
working like the debriding soap.
It has debriding soap in it. The difference being is that the cream is longer lasting. With the debriding soap, if you apply it as diluted, you'd want to apply it maybe a lot more frequently. Every 15 or 20 minutes. With the cream, you can rub it in, you can apply it a couple times a day, and it's history.
So the cream kind of helps work stuff out, just like the debriding soap?
Yes, it's got the debriding soap in it, the creams and the oils. They're good to nurturize your skin, to hydrate your skin. I mean, even the debriding soap will hydrate your skin, but that's the way I would do it. So
okay, can I just do on the debriding soap? I've been spraying it all over my skin and maybe sitting around for a while and then showering. Is that a theory? Is that any good?
Well, anything is better than nothing, but once you start the diet, then magic starts happening, because until then you're going to be breeding these organisms from inside out. They're just going to keep coming out because you're, like I said earlier, you're a walking, talking, breeding parasite machine. Once you start the diet and it kicks in, it starts slowing that activity down dramatically. And then the bathing, we recommend in the beginning 3 baths a day, as long as up to 45 minutes, using a cap full, the cap off the top of the bottle, fill the cap, and put it in your bathtub. And Chapter 3 has a list of probably 15 or 20 different disinfectants that you can use, and you can even combine them, so you can look in there and see what you like. I think the most economic one is peppermint. It's very inexpensive. You can get like 2 ounces for like $10 or so in our store, and you can put a few drops of that in the cap along with the Nature's Gift, so it will be dispersed in the bathtub. Because if you just put the peppermint oil in the water, it floats on top, and some people are more sensitive to it, and it's going to feel like it's freezing you. Whereas if you mix it in with the Nature's Gift, it'll be more dispersed in the water itself in the bathtub. And that's true of any essential oil. And then Yeah, but let me finish. After you get out of the bathtub for 45 minutes, then you go to the shower, and we have the Nature's Gift soaps. But, again, I don't care. Buy Bonner's. I don't care what you use. But shower off and then clean off with a special soap, either one of ours or Dr. Bonner's or somebody else's. Get that stuff cleaned off, and then wipe yourself down with the diluted Nature's Gift. Again. You don't even have to towel dry. You can just wet your body with a Nature's Gift and wipe it down. If this doesn't do the trick, a week or two ago I published Robin's technique, which is a little bit more in depth, in which he uses a combination of coconut oil and you can use our skin lotion and add in some more essential oils, and you can apply that to your skin as well. So it can be more involved than that. That could be another 45 minutes but the idea is do as much as you need to do to get them out of your skin and as effectively as you can.
Exactly. Let me ask you this. So I'm just now getting this. I've had it longer than I thought. I'm staying in hotels, and I keep moving because I keep thinking my hotels have mites. So these mites are coming out of me.
Yeah, you're carrying them to the hotel, and the next person that comes in that hotel room, oh God forbid, if they're susceptible to them, they become a customer of ours again, and if a year or two when they find out about it.
So I'm breeding mites. It's not that I thought a mite just bit me, and then I'm going to have to share one more thing before you let me go.
You're a carrier. You're a breeding
machine. So when they bite me, are they injecting me with other mites or what?
Well, they're laying eggs. They live under your skin. They're laying eggs. Scabies is an example of mites that doctors recognize living in the skin and breeding in the skin. They don't recognize
the other ones.
They don't recognize the other ones, but they do. They do the same thing. They go into your skin subcutaneously. They lay their eggs, and they keep breeding, and they're coming out of your skin, and some people see them flying out of their skin. I remember in the early days, I would open up my coat, and I'd see a mite fly out. Oh, wow. Okay, where did he drop in from? He was on his way to the opera, and he's decided to come out of my skin. So, yeah, they live in your skin, and when you go to hotel room, they're coming out of you. They're infesting the bedding there, and unless they're effectively disinfecting the room, the next person that goes there, if they're susceptible to them, they're going to pick them up.
And don't forget, if you can find a place to live, even a small, apartment that's easy to disinfect, you can start disinfecting your environment, and it's much easier to get on the diet because you don't have to go to restaurants all the time. So
you're telling me I got a 3,500 square foot home and I'm mopping all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you can use.
One more question about the.
Yes.
Well, I'm making a comment, I guess, here. I went and got me a microscope so I could look at stuff. I see the fibers and all those colored fibers that people talk about with the Morgellons, and a lot of these mites that I see, you could make a sci-fi battle movie out of them. They look cool under the microscope, but all these mites, they even have other little bugs on them, like other parasites. A lot of mites have the filament-looking thing that goes with the Morgellons. The blue fibers.
When you read chapter 2 of the book, of the book, you'll find that we call mites vectors. And vectors are things that carry other things. So mites are the vectors for Columbella, springtails, and they're the vectors also for Morgellons. As you've noticed, you see them on the mites. So, and Britannica says there are 40,000 species of mites. I mean, I guess we're lucky that probably only a dozen or so infect us, but it's enough.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But typically, it's bird mites, no-see-ums, rat mites, these kinds of mites that infect us. Red mite. So it's typically those.
I have every single kind at my house. I wonder. I mean, is that unusual? I thought you'd just have one type, but I have all of them. I have even the glitter kind.
Get the electrostatic sprayer. It's the best thing to do, the quickest way you can disinfect your whole house. You say 3,500 square feet, you can probably disinfect the whole house probably in about 10 minutes very effectively, and you'd want to do that for 21 days straight because mites lay eggs, and the longest gestation period of any known mite is 21 days.
Okay. Okay.
And you want to complete the questionnaire and complete it and send it in to me because there are medications such you want to be aware of, such as Lufeneron, which is something that you order from a place in Mexico. We have a link. You order it from them. Lufeneron inhibits the production it inhibits the creation of eggs, the shell. So when a mite is in the presence of Lufeneron, it will lay an egg, but the egg can't mature because the shell will not be hard. It won't be protected. So that's something you do. We also have, and this is part of the recommendations that will be given to you, we have enzymes, the kinase enzymes in our store, and those enzymes break down chitin. And chitin is the substance of all the mouth parts of mites. So the program is very targeted, very specific, and very effective once you get into it. But it's a matter of everybody on this call beating these things is a matter of doing 4 things simultaneously. One is the diet, making that diet kick in. 2, disinfecting your home. And the most effective way is the electrostatic sprayer. For instance, I had the organisms in my couch. I couldn't sit on that couch for 3 months. Every day I did the footrest under and top. I did and they were still there. Later on, I found out that I wasn't doing the end of the footrest, the tuft. And that's where they where the fabric is tufted together. The electrostatic sprayer would have caught that. It would have automatically gotten into those crevices because the electrostatic sprayer puts on a positive charge on every particle that comes out of it. And everything in the environment is negatively charged. So the spray doesn't actually have to hit the surface. The spray is attracted to the surface, like a magnet attracted to positive, negative poles. So it's the most efficient way. And the price of the electrostatic sprayers come down from $850 to around, I don't know, $400 and something in our store. We still have the Victories for $850, and we have a Ryobi now for around $400 and something. So they're much more economical, much quicker, much faster, and the most effective way to disinfect.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well.
Thank you. Keep coming back. Our goal here is to provide information, usable information. We're here to provide a little excitement, inspiration, because it works. We know it works. So, and if it's not been working, you're making a mistake. So you want to ask us a question.
I don't mean to interrupt. You guys are great because I've been to the emergency room 3 times. I've been to my doctor 8. I've been to 2 different dermatologists 4 times. And I'll be honest, I'm actually an ex-athlete and pretty healthy, and none of them, they almost want to say I'm crazy. And
now where did you go 8 times?
My primary care physician.
All right,
I've been going over this for a year.
I want you to read the book 8 times, and I want you to make notes. All right. That's how you do it. 8 times reading the book will be worth 100 times going to the doctor because the book is an encyclopedia, and you'll learn every time. I learn when I read the book. I say, gee, I'm revising it now. And I say, I didn't know that was in there. I didn't remember putting that in there, but it's in there. It's a research. So it's got everything you need to know.
Every time I look at it, I glean something more. It's actually like drinking from a fire hydrant. So you're going to have to read it a whole bunch. And
do me a favor, go to Amazon and give me a 5-star review and a comment this long. Thank you.
Okay, I will. You bet. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah.
Who else is open?
Ginny.
Okay, that's me.
Yes, Jenny.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to ask or share?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, I'm not feeling like things crawling on me. Like in our other house, I felt stuff crawling, but here I don't feel things crawling on me, like crawling or jumping on me from the floor and stuff like that. Do I still have to like constantly disinfect and stuff?
Well, I don't know. I mean, how long have you been in the program? Have you been on the diet? That's a question out of the blue. I know very little about you except that you don't feel things crawling on you.
Well, I just started the diet. I was doing my own keto diet because I saw that that was recommended, and I noticed that sugar and carbs will make.
Well, do you have any itching? Do you have any symptoms of the skin parasites? Do you know that you're dealing with anything? Do you have the filaments coming out of your skin? Do you have itching and biting sensations in your body?
I have a crawling feeling like underneath my skin, and when I got your debriding soap, I only ordered once. I got to order some more because I'm out, but I saw little white fluffy things coming out of my skin, but that's all I saw. Like, I didn't see a lot of them, but anytime I get in the bath, I see little cottony things, but they're really tiny, and sometimes I'll see little white dots just pop out, and some hairs that's embedded. It looks like my hair because my hair is coming out, and I'll see my hair. It's embedded in my skin, and it'll just pop out. I'll see a strand of my hair just pop out of my skin randomly, and I just brush it off. But those are the things I'm experiencing. But
And how long have you had this?
Like probably like 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
It's gotten better, but
sure, Robin.
When I went off
Ginny,
sugar
the
and
keto
carbs,
diet is healthy and it's good, but the diet in Richard's book is not a keto diet. It's very specific towards Morgellons and parasites. And
yeah,
so
I know. I did switch from the keto to Richard's diet. It's a lot more restrictive, but I'm allergic to dairy anyway, so I can't have any dairy. And anytime I have anything carby, I'll start feeling like stinging all over the place, just to the point where it's unbearable. So I don't have anything carb. I don't have like the spelt. I don't have that. I don't have any sugar. I don't eat anything carby at all. So yeah, the diet's very restrictive, but I've been doing that for probably about a month now. When I got the book, but I'm not feeling things crawling on me anymore like I did before when we were in the other house. I've been disinfecting every day anyway, but I'm just wondering if I don't have to do that because I'm not feeling things jumping on me and stuff anymore.
Well,
it is better. It's not as bad. It's not as intense as it was. Like, it doesn't keep me up all night like it used to before. So it is better, but my hair is still coming out.
Okay, so you are improving, and that's good. You're moving in the right direction. The question is about, do you need to now? Are you strict with the diet, or are you kind of on the diet?
No, I've been really strict with the diet. It's just hard sometimes because if I go to somebody's house and they make food, I can't really eat it. You know what I mean? So it's.
And if you do eat it, you'll notice more activity later.
I don't. I don't eat it.
You just don't eat it. Okay. Well, it sounds like you're moving in the right direction. Moving from one house to another has definitely been beneficial because you have less environmental factors. You should be able to start moving to stage 2 of the diet in short order. You might add one food at a time. I mean, it's not a whole lot. Like, for instance, bananas. You might find that you can have bananas or green apples. And you, as far as the bathing goes, I don't know. You might be down to 1 bath a day, perhaps, or you might soon be able to move just to showers. I don't know. You'll have to make that call on your own based on how you're improving.
Also, the vitamins in Richard's store help tremendously if you're, with the Morgellons because they build your immune system, and the garcillin is a natural antibiotic, and they really make a difference.
Yeah, I want to order the vitamins next. That's what I plan on doing. It's just that, you know, everything is pretty pricey, and so I just have to be careful as far as ordering once there's enough money to order. That's why I've been holding off. But.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you're moving along. You'll have to make a decision as to how often you need to disinfect. I mean, if you sit and you don't feel anything happening when you sit someplace, well, that pretty much says that that area is clear. If you don't feel them when you're in bed or feel any activity, well, then that area is clear.
Yeah, I don't feel it outside. Like, I don't feel things outside crawling on me like I used to. I used to be afraid to go to bed because the second I hit the bed, I felt like things were biting me and stinging me, and it was horrifying. I don't feel that now. Sometimes when I lay down, that's the worst at night. I'll feel like things are, I don't know, crawling underneath my skin, like crawling in my legs, mostly in my legs, but like it doesn't feel like it's jumping on me from somewhere like I did before. Like I was afraid to sit down on anything, and I would stand up.
You know, back on Easter, when Jeremy was our guest, he had explained, I forget what he explained that as. I have to go back and listen to that video because he mentioned that, and there is a reasonable explanation. So I would recommend, because my memory, I don't remember that, go back and listen to the Easter video that we did, and Jeremy explained that at some point, that crawling sensation. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
3278 is open.
Hi, Richard.
Hi.
Hi, this is Jennifer.
Hi,
from
Jennifer.
Florida. Hi, Robin.
Hi. Hi.
So I don't know if my question is for Richard or Robin, but this is my question. It's more of a female question. But I've been on the diet for a week and a half. I'm almost to 2 weeks, and everything is beautiful, but I have hot spots in my body. I think my body heat kind of triggers certain things. I'm not sure how that works, but I have very large breasts, and underneath my breasts I have a lot of activity. And so I was wondering if Robin could tell me, I don't have a bathtub.
I don't think it's just hot spots. I think it's friction, just like if you wore a belt with pants and it was rubbing, you're going to have more activity there because they feel like they're being squished.
It just seems like I've been following Richard's diet to the T, like everything. I've done everything. And which leads to the second question,
that's going to happen.
How do you relieve under your arms and the breasts and the hot spots? How do you do that if you don't have that?
I use diatomaceous earth, and I rub it right on before I put on a bra, or I don't use deodorant.
Okay.
I'll use one of Richard's creams, like the debriding cream is amazing, or I'll use my own mixture of the creams with the essential
So
oil.
I have the soap, the 9-ounce soap. Is there anything I can do with that? Because I'm out of money. That I have this oils and I have the debriding
really
soap.
Cheap. I mean, you can get that anywhere.
No, I have that. I have that too.
Yeah, so you could use Richard's soap, but you can also just pat diatomaceous earth on as if it was baby powder on the trouble areas and keep doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could. You could probably mix it with a little coconut oil, right? Put some diatomaceous earth and coconut oil and massage it in.
You can, but what she's talking about, I would do the coconut oil and then I would do it on top and dry. I would.
So what you're saying, Robin, is do the coconut oil first?
Yeah, I would do coconut oil mixed with like neem oil or peppermint oil or a combination of oils.
Yeah.
Rub it in, and then on top of that, put dry diatomaceous earth.
Oh, that's
It will
right.
stop
Okay.
things in their
Okay.
tracks.
Yeah.
But you got to do it over and over. There's no quick solution.
No, I get
Every
this.
night at bed.
Look,
every
I have
morning
been.
when you get dressed after the bath.
Yeah. Look, unfortunately, I have nowhere to go, so I've been following this diet 100%, and I am just in love with this diet because it's given me everything I've needed in life up until now, you know.
Right.
And I'm trying and trying and trying so hard to follow it. Another question I have is, it says no oils, but it also says no butter, and so
no, not no butter.
Oh, I thought it said no butter.
No, real butter. Real butter is fine. No
real butter, yeah.
No mixture butter. No. Some places mix hydrogenated with real butter, and they call it a blend. They call it butter, but it's actually a blend.
Okay.
No blends.
I was confused. Okay, I got that.
Okay.
Also, my last question is, I have an 8-year-old son. I think I talked to Richard, I think via email, about this subject, and I might tear up a little bit, and I'm sorry for doing that, but I have an 8-year-old son, and he has autism, and I believe that he is showing symptoms of this, and the thing that I'm worried about is he's on ADHD medicine. He's on something called Focalin. Is that a trigger?
I'm not familiar with medications, but I think I discussed with you taking the ingredients out of our capsules and maybe mixing them together and somehow putting that in his food.
This is what we're gonna add to his diet. But this is I'm talking about the medication he's currently on. ADHD medicine like Focalin.
I can't address that issue. All I know is medications that are listed in the blog for oftentimes ADHD can make it more difficult for the diet to kick in. Okay?
It just seems like I know I talked to both you and Robin about my son's diet. He's very particular about his foods because he has autism and blah, blah, blah. You know, but it seems like every time I give him his medication at the month, Ritalin and this and that, his flare-ups are 10 times worse than, you know, when I separate his medication.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
there might be, you know, I mean, there might be natural things you can do. I had really bad ADHD when I was a kid, and they didn't have Ritalin, and they gave me coffee.
I'm just wondering, is it best if I just take him off the medication and put him on the King diet? Or what do I do?
I don't know. We cannot make a medical recommendation.
No, I know that, but yeah.
But I think, I don't know if you can just stop a medication like that. You would have to, you know.
Yeah, I couldn't just stop it, but
yeah.
It seems like it's a trigger. The medication he's on seems like it's a trigger.
So it probably is, and you want to find other solutions.
I'd like to make a comment. There probably are some pediatric mental health practitioners who have alternative methodology to help children with ADHD.
That's really good one.
You know, I know a rebounder, you know, those things the kids jump up and down on. Those are really good for the brain. Red light therapy is
he's been through all that. He's got all the sensory objects and all the, you know, he's 9 years old. I'm a very good parent. He's been through all kinds of, you know, he's been through all that. We've just not been through Morgellons.
Right, but there are some practitioners that help with the ADD without the drugs. So you might find one.
But if I were to go to his ADD medications and I say, hey, he might have Morgellons, what do you think they're going to say to me?
Well, in the first place, you would never say that.
Exactly. So what do I say? What would I say?
Say you're choosing to take. You do not have to explain. It's your right in the USA to refuse medical treatment. Period. You're the right also, you're the representative of your son. So you have a right, a legal right, to say no. That as long as you're providing another type of therapy in lieu of that, and there are many practitioners that use natural interventions, behavioral changes.
But very few that fall under his insurance.
Well, I mean, there's always a no. You can always go no in a direction or say yes. You know, that's up to you. There's always reasons not to.
It's just difficult as a single parent. It's difficult because he has Medicaid.
Well,
you know,
there are naturopaths that take Medicaid.
Go ahead, Richard.
Well, the first thing I would do in your trek is, number one, to boost the glutathione. Like I mentioned
I have done.
earlier,
I did what you suggested I do in the email, and I broke it up.
Right.
I have done that. Yes.
Then you're on the right track, and you may find things changing. Sometimes when I first started boosting glutathione, it took me 6 weeks before I noticed anything.
Okay.
So it's not going to happen overnight.
You think it's okay to just but it's okay to just do exactly what we've been doing, what you suggested, and what I am doing, and along with his other. Well, you're not a doctor. I can't ask you that.
Well, yeah, I'm saying
who are also naturopaths that take all kinds of insurance that treat things naturally.
Who?
Chiropractors.
Chiropractors,
that
okay.
Also,
I mean, he's on Medicaid. He's disabled. He's on Medicaid. I mean,
they would take that kind of insurance. So that's something you might want to look into.
I will. Thank you, Robin.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
4372 is open. 4372.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, it's Janine from USA. How are you?
Hi, Janine.
Hi. My business got run into the ground, and I have to go get a job, and I have to reemerge into society. So, what do I do about that?
Well, we are. I mean, you're asking about a financial issue, right?
No, I mean, like, I have to be around people. Plus, I'm getting so depressed that it's just really not okay. I've been alone since, over a year, and I don't have anybody in my life at all. Not one person that I see.
Let's start with step number one. Are you on the diet?
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you been on the diet, and have you made it work?
I've been on for like 6 months, but I didn't realize that you had to do, well, I read the book, but I got 2 concussions. I just got another concussion, but I forgot about bathing every day, or somehow I got away. But yes, I'm on the diet, and I borrowed money for food, but I'm going to spend it on the glutathione because I just want to feel better. And if I don't see a person and get a hug soon, I don't know what's going to happen.
At this moment, are you religious?
Well, I talk to God. Is that what you're saying?
Right. So the best thing you can do right now is acknowledge that you're in a pickle and turn it over to God so that you can take the panic out of this equation, because the panic is only creating more hormones in your body that feed these organisms.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You want to turn this over to God, step out of it yourself, and stick with the bathing, stick with the diet. And in terms of now you're saying being with other people, are these customers or?
No, I mean, I was going to go get a job. I actually sprayed my car I bought a hydrostatic sprayer. I sprayed my car, and I put ammonia in there, and I, ruined the wiring. And
God.
Now the car doesn't work, and I have to get a job and walk somewhere, and I don't feel well.
Oh,
I never heard of ammonia ruining the wiring.
Well, I suppose if you, I don't know. I don't know how that could happen. How did you spray the car that the ammonia got in the wiring?
Well, I sprayed everywhere in the car, like everywhere, like in the vents and everything because they were in there.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't have hurt the car.
Oh, maybe it's just a different problem then, but it's
probably
not
a different
drivable.
problem.
Have you had a mechanic look at it?
No, I don't have any money.
It won't start the car. Maybe is the battery dead?
Oh well. Anyway, if we'll just forget about the car then, but just the other stuff's so important.
Well, getting a job is having a car to get a job, right? So
yeah.
At some point you're going to have a mechanic get the car going and find out what's wrong with it. It's highly doubtful that spraying ammonia had that kind of impact.
Okay, good.
When you do have a mechanic look at the car, have them change the cabin filter. That will take care of 99% of any infestation.
Good. I just bought one. I got one. I didn't put it in yet because I was thinking I feel guilty having the mechanic look at the car because there's mice in there.
Well, you sprayed it. You could spray it again before he looks at it and let the ammonia dissipate. For those of you on the call who do not know what a cabin filter is, it's a filter that is in your recirculation air. It's often located behind the glove compartment, and it needs to be changed. I think a lot of cars have been tossed away because of ignorance. People didn't know that filter existed, and until a couple of months ago, I didn't know it existed either until one of the participants, Elle, shared that she found organisms in her cabin filter. So, yeah, well, as far as we can say is in terms of parasites, you're on the diet, stay on the diet. You need to clean your skin, and back in the years, I did it with very hot baths, and you can use Epsom salts in the bath, up to 4 cups, and bathe as long as up to 45 minutes. You can even apply borax directly to your skin as a paste. In the shower, you can go in the shower, wet your skin, apply borax as a paste to your skin. That's a technique that people have used. Shower off, disinfect your environment. Ammonia oftentimes does the job. Bedding, change your bedding daily in the beginning, but I don't know, you should be having some progress, but if you're not, go back to the basics, change your bedding daily.
They were almost gone, but I have an online business, and I had a bunch of counterfeiters steal my design, and they stole, anyway, I think it's the stress, but I just ended up getting, worse and worse and worse.
Well, turn it over to God. Nothing we can do about the counterfeiters and scammers. They're out there. I know. I just thank God every day that I'm free of having been scammed, but could happen tomorrow. I don't know. It happens to all of us.
And so, staying away from people.
Well, you don't have to stay away from people. Basically, you want to take a bath before you have associations with people. You want to come out of the bath and basically feel itch-free and symptom-free. And then you're pretty good for a few hours. You can go to a job interview or whatever. I would spray I would invert my clothing and spray them inside with ammonia, and then I would turn them right side out and let them dry, before I wore them, and then I could go places. Or you could do diatomaceous earth, invert your clothing, do diatomaceous earth on the inside, and then turn them right side out. So there are things that you can do to make yourself be able to go into public without presenting possibility of being contagious.
Oh, okay, because I was staying away from people for the whole year because I thought I was contagious no matter what.
Well, no, you have to have the symptoms. You have to be itching and biting. That is an indication that they're active on your body and they're multiplying and they're jumping off of your body or being shedded from your body. That could be picked up by others. But if you're not itching and feeling the biting, you're pretty well safe.
Oh, if I am feeling the itching, then I still have to isolate, right?
Well, take a shower. I mean, take a bath. Do you have a bathtub, right?
Yes.
All right, take a bath. 45-minute bathtub, hot water with Epsom salts, or pool shock is you can buy the liquid pool shock for about $8 a gallon at a pool supply place. Put about an ounce or an ounce and a half in your bathtub, and take a bath. We have the Nature's Gift bar soaps, but I mean you can use regular soap, I suppose. If water is hot.
Okay. And then how long are you good out of the house for?
Well, until you start feeling itching again.
Oh, okay. All right.
And if you take along, I mean, if affordable, the best thing is just get a 9 ounce of our Super MSM gel. It's about $39, but it'll last you probably 6 months. And you take that with you, and anytime you feel anything, you just apply some of that Super MSM gel to that area, and that will pretty well quiet it.
Okay. If I had to buy one thing, you would say the glutathione would be the thing to purchase, right?
Well, it's the number one thing, yeah.
Okay. I know I need a lot of things, but I'm just feeling a little stuck and upset.
Well, have you applied for the discount store?
What do you mean?
Well, send me an email and explain your situation, and if you qualify, I'll give you access to the discount store that we have.
Okay, thank you. I didn't even know you had one. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
All veterans and members of the armed services automatically qualify for the discount store.
Oh, that is nice. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hope. So when I go out in public, I just don't hug anybody because I was out for a walk and somebody came up to me and I got freaked out because they, people want to hug or they want to shake my hand and I'm like, oh, and they run away. You're a little overreactive. Only if you're experiencing a lot of activity. I mean, occasionally people have them on their hands, but most people don't have the organisms that are on their hands. But anyway, today, because of COVID, we don't go around shaking hands anyway. We just butt elbows. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right.
I offer you some maybe suggestions about your feeling isolated?
Yes, please. Oh, my God.
So what I bring to this call are the qualities of resiliency. And, we can be in a room filled with people and feel alone. Being in the presence of physical people doesn't necessarily bring us a feeling of connection, which is actually what we're missing. We're feeling isolated and disconnected. And Richard mentioned going to God. And the first quality of resiliency is developing a spiritual practice. And part of a spiritual practice could be journaling and just taking a few minutes every morning to maybe read some scripture or to talk to God or to write down your feelings in a journal so you're not alone. That the most important person in the world is listening, and that's you. And once you, and that's a discipline that you can give yourself as a gift. And I encourage people to make sure you have one room, and it sounds like you've accomplished that, that's clean and safe, where you can sit in silence and be okay with it. So that's one way of connecting. Of course, there's buddies. You can get a buddy here through Richard's organization. You could maybe get a coach. You can find people you can call that have this illness, because it is a very unique experience, and it isn't something other people out in the world really understand very well. But don't forget, you're never alone. And the more you nurture a relationship with yourself, the more you'll feel less alone. You won't want so much. You know, we all need to be connected, but finding that connection with your higher self is the most potent connection that you can have. And that doesn't, you can't just snap your fingers and say, oh, I'm going to have it. You need to develop it, you know, and sit and feel your feelings and write down, you know, how you're feeling, and also write positive things about yourself. You know, things you appreciate that you did that day. You know, all the work that you're doing. Write it down that you're appreciating that you're doing these things for yourself. Thank yourself for that. Know you're not alone, that there's many of us here that understand what you are going through. You are not alone. And Richard can give you the methodology to pick up a coach or a buddy here if you would like one.
Is there like a free group that people talk on the phone? Because I don't have any money for that right now.
Well, we have a buddy program where you can find one or two people who would like to connect with you and be available during the week that you can talk to as friends. You know, this is a very unfriendly disease that we're dealing with here. So the other couple of things that I'd like to add that Margie reminded me of with her comments is there are a couple of free resources that I have on YouTube. Depression is often a part of what we go through. And in fact, I think about maybe a month ago, if you go to our YouTube channel and you can get the access from the email, you can look back. We had at least two programs devoted to depression, and then we had 2 programs devoted to panic. All 4 of them would be good to watch. And then there's a free program that I have on YouTube, Up From Depression, which is just about dealing with depression. There's also a program called The Inner World of Tranquility, which is another phenomenal program when you feel like, hey, there's no hope or whatever, or if you're going on a job interview, you definitely want to listen to that program, and get used to that kind of environment to flood out the negative thoughts. Well, now, I don't really call them negative. They're just low energy thoughts. You know, those thoughts have no productive energy involved with them. So we want to swap out those energy thoughts with real energy, that optimism and the qualities of resilience that Margie often speaks of. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And keep coming back. Keep coming back here, because we're here so that you will say, because of you guys, because of you and Margie and Robin and Ethel, I got my life back. And I'm glad I kept coming back.
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I live in California. I've listened to your program, and one of the things that I've noticed about having any of this, I'm pretty sure the Lyme disease with the antibodies in my body, that I had that. I had shingles and Lyme disease at the same time. It just kept escalating, and what I read about what you went through was just pretty much everything that I went through, and add some more. The parasitic fungus, the parasites. One of the things that happened that was profound was my mother had passed away in 2012. And I dreamed about her one night, and she says, Joy, these bugs are smart. If you're looking, me and her were really into estate jewelry. She says, if you're looking for a rhinestone in the carpet, they're going to look like a rhinestone in the carpet. And over the years, this has been going on about 4 years, a little over 4 years. I've done a lot. I have tried everything, but one of the questions, the main question I wanted to ask you, have you had anybody that did a H2O2 therapy?
H2O2 therapy, there are different aspects of it. One of our recommendations is to use food-grade hydrogen peroxide. We have it in the store. It's 8%. It tells you how many drops to take in a glass of water, how often to do it daily. So that's one way that we recommend H2O2 therapy. There are other ways you can look into, but that's probably the least expensive and could be very effective.
Well, I went to a specialist, my best friend, one day, a day of lucidity when I wasn't, I wasn't even aware of how sick that I was. I had all of the worst symptoms possible. If you read what they are, the side effects and symptoms of having Lyme disease, of having shingles, I had all of that. I just sleep sitting up. Anyway, my friend took me to a specialist, a homeopathic clinic. This doctor was amazing, no bad reviews whatsoever. Unfortunately, he has passed on, but I went to this place. He didn't even do any blood work, no tests. He took one look at me. He ordered all these things, vitamin shots, which I got that day, and he did the intravenous H2O2 therapy. In 2 weeks, I started seeing signs of improvement and went back and just continued the treatment until he said I didn't need it anymore. And since that time, I did do, and over the past 2 years, whenever I feel like I need it, I do the water and the H2O2 therapy. But, and I would highly recommend it. But do go to a physician before you do this, because I know that my doctor, he had saved people who had been suffering from diabetes, for instance, having to have limbs removed.
Do you have a question? Is there a question
I just wanted to know how you felt about doing that, and that was my one question that I had was, have you recommended it, or how do you feel about it?
Yes, routinely, I recommend it. I don't know how many people actually do it. Not everybody has access to a doctor, so our recommendations really don't aim people to go to doctors because, if you listen to the lady that was speaking previously, it's not affordable for a lot of people. So we look at the things that you can more or less do for yourself. You can even do EMF therapy, rifing frequencies and things like that. They work as well, but they often require you to go to a professional, and that's a few $100s. So most people are not affordable. So our protocol is based on do-it-yourself kind of stuff. And I have nothing against hydrogen therapy. Have nothing against what is it? The sauna therapy, or there's many therapies that you can do. I have nothing against any of them.
Yeah, reading too much about that is going to scare you. It's highly controversial when it comes to MDs. And I was actually committed when I went to the doctor. So thank you very much. I do not want to go see another doctor because they put me, I was out within 8 hours and they wanted my medical license to practice medicine. They were intent. Well, guess what? They didn't get it, and they won't get it because I'm not crazy. I have this disease that is now thankfully recognized by the CDC. This was 4 years ago when it wasn't, and people were killing themselves, and it was very disheartening. And then I found your book, and there's so many good things in it. Even if you're not sick, you should do a lot of this stuff. But it's been very helpful.
Thank you very much. There are so many people that tell me they're healthier for having gone through the program than they were before they started the program. And it took the skin parasites to wake them up. Yeah,
it's true. And being in California, one of the things that I read is that they're not going to do anything. The CDC or environment, nobody's going to do anything because it's the same species or the same strain, just one of the things that causes valley fever, that it will live in old wood. Well, that's just one. I mean, I must have had all of them above, you know. I found that the time right after I got sick of that, I had the larvae for tapeworms and roundworms and all of these things. So it took a lot of effort, and I found number one thing besides the H2O2 therapy was that quit stretching. That's the worst I think I can do. That was the hardest thing, is to quit stressing and obsessive. Definitely do not obsess over it. To just let it go, pray a lot, and
right, as we said before, if you're religious, turn it over to God. You know, let creativity take over. Right. So, yes, the serenity prayer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing. Keep coming back. And while we're talking about doctors, actually, the way to really go is for everybody, because 90% of us are dealing with Lyme disease. According to the research, and there are people who claim or would say that all of us have Lyme disease, and obviously the people that treat it are LLMDs, Lyme literate medical doctors. They generally treat it with antibiotics, and they are amazing if you go that route. But they're not a cure, because the same research says that the antibiotics do not cure it long term. Now, sure, you'll get a respite from it or whatever. My personal case, I was on antibiotics for 6 months. Strangely enough, I only had a diagnosis of Lyme disease when I started it. When I went off, no symptoms. When I went off of the antibiotics, no symptoms. But a year later, it almost killed me, Lyme disease did. And I got my life back with boosting glutathione and the nutritional supplements. So the bottom line is, do these. Do the nutritional supplements, the multiple vitamin, the minerals, the boosting the glutathione, the acillin. You might not need medical treatment. Okay? It's not. This is not a cure. We're not here to say that this cures it. But the bottom line is, we're all deficient of glutathione. We're all deficient. It's not enough of our body's not making enough of it. And after age 20, our body produces 10% less each decade. So when you get to me, I'm down to 5% maybe of what it needs. So I need it. We all need it. And if you're taking Tylenol, or if you're taking any of those acetaminophen medications, it destroys glutathione. Now, what kind of damn doctor would have you take that crap when he knows it destroys glutathione?
And
bless you. What kind of doctor would suggest that? That tells you how stupid the doctors are. They don't know that glutathione is so important. As I mentioned earlier, even Dr. Klinger didn't know about glutathione being beneficial with Lyme disease and getting rid of the toxicity. So
you're very passionate about your work, I can tell. Sometimes I think the doctors are so smart, they're stupid. That's how I feel about that, because I'm a medic. That's what I do for a living. And fortunately, for me, the COVID-19 and not having to go to work, they told me stand down, and I did. And I've been sheltering in place. And before that, I was pretty much off the grid working for the Army Corps, off on my own, out in the middle of nowhere. And so I did these things, and it played right into it, and thank God, and I thank God for that I had that. But in California, you're not going to find a doctor that's going to recognize Lyme disease that you got it here. But I'm from North Carolina, and I was going to visit my family twice a year, and it's there. Lyme disease prevalent back east in Rocky Mountain.
It's everywhere now. They even finding on the beach, people in the sand. The ticks are, so it's everywhere. Did you say you're a medical? Did you say you're a medical doctor? You have a medical license? What's that?
I'm first responder.
Oh, first responder. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
I work large events. I work festivals and concerts and stadiums and those sorts of things. Like Robert said, she's so wise. I mean, She
Right.
said, you can be in a room full of people and feel lonely. I felt that in a stadium with 60,000 people. So I do get that. You can feel so alone. And the lady that was before me that felt so alone, if you want to have her connect with me, I'll help her. I don't have a lot of money, but I'll find a way to get her some money.
Well, we'll do some telephone exchanges later after the recording is stopped. Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing. Keep coming back. And yes, oxygen therapy is great. Okay. Thank you. Who else?
2320 is open.
2320. Your turn.
Okay. This is Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
So I feel like my question is so insignificant compared to people's more serious problems. But nonetheless, I just wanted to ask, I've been trying to get rid of this fungus for some time, and I think I'm moving forward. It's somewhat back and forth. There's improvement, and I got the diet and disinfection and the bath pretty much regularized. But the thing I'm trying to figure out, sometimes the burning goes away, and I don't think I even felt it yesterday, and then today it comes back at certain times, and I don't know whether that is due to the environment or if it's just common in the progression.
Well, number one, when it comes to skin fungus, it's important to remember it can migrate. So the example, like my dining room table has a tablecloth, and the tablecloth hangs down, could come down to my knee. And if I have skin fungus on my knee and that tablecloth touches my knee, the skin fungus can migrate to it. It can migrate to safety strap in your car, can migrate to your bedding, can migrate to any furniture that comes in contact with that skin or the clothing that is on your skin. Next time you are sitting in that chair, you could be free of the skin fungus on your body, but it is still in that tablecloth. And if your knee touches that tablecloth, it'll migrate right back onto your knee. So you want to watch that. So any place that your body touches, you want to make sure it's disinfected, even if it's a tablecloth or the seat belt, for instance. So you want to look for those things, because that will be like you can be free of it and then you'll have it right back.
And
Well,
you can keep a diary, like write down where you are when it happens or what you ate when it happens, because things don't just randomly happen. There's cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be easier to figure out if you can look back and say, okay, 3 times I was here and then this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know the whole idea of skin fungus migrating sounds crazy and out of the world. That was my experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, but I'm wondering, it doesn't seem to go to new places anymore like it was, though, and that's why it made me think that something was activating it from inside rather than...
Well, if you're on the diet, the other thing would be to use there are 2 things that we have in the store that are targeted to this, and that is the kinase enzymes, which, as I explained earlier, they break down chitin, and all fungal organisms are comprised of chitin, which is like the building blocks. The other thing that we have in our store is called the calcium Dayclex. It's it inhibits the production of hyphae. Now, all fungal organisms, a plant has roots. A plant goes down in the ground and has roots, and the roots absorb the moisture and the nutrients from the ground. Well, fungal organisms have root-like portions that are called hyphae, and they do very much the same thing. They grow in and they absorb the nutrients from wherever they're in. So if you, for instance, see mold growing on a surface, it's actually growing into the surface. It's not just on the surface, it's actually growing in to that surface. So the calcium Dayclex inhibits the ability for the hyphae to form, to grow into your skin, and the kinase enzymes break down the chitin that is already there. So that would be the next step. If it's not environmental, then that's the next step.
Yeah. The problem I have, I want to get to that point, but I don't know if you remember, I'm weaning off of some of the medications for another digestive problem that I have, and so I don't want to do everything at the same time, so I have to wait a little while for that.
Well, these are enzymes, so enzymes are a natural function of the body. So, you know, I don't think you would have an issue with anything with the enzymes. They're, you know, and the calcium Dayclex is, what is that? Well, I would start with the enzymes first, and then maybe a week or two later, when you've weaned off of the other things, you might add the calcium Dayclex.
So, what is the enzyme called?
It's kinase enzymes. So we have four enzymes in the store. So if you go into the store and you look into supplements, you will actually find probably kinase enzymes at the very top.
So it's like chitosanase.
Yeah, chitinase. I can't pronounce it, but it's not actually chitinase. It's chitinase. And the first four things you're going to see are in the supplement section, the mouthwash. That's the #1 selling supplement. Secondly is glutathione accelerator, and then the third one is this enzyme.
Is that in order that you should take, or order that I'll
No, that's the order of people purchasing them. That's the popularity of these supplements.
Oh, okay.
So it's easy to find. Whereas the calcium Dayclex, you have to go almost all the way to the bottom.
Okay.
But there is a fungal package, so we do have both of them together as a fungal package, and you can save a few dollars if you buy both of them together.
Okay, and does it have instructions on how you take it?
Yes, it does, and when you look in the catalog, it explains it very fully there as well. With the kinase enzymes, you can start with as little as 1 capsule a day and go up to about 6.
Okay. The other thing is, I've been on stage 1 so long. I want to try other foods, like I think you mentioned bananas earlier, and there's also cheese, or I want to get to walnuts because that is helpful for my digestive.
Yeah, walnuts are great. If you're going the route of cheese, you want to go something like goat cheese or maybe feta, and go that route before you get into cheddars and Monterey and other stuff.
You got to do one food at a time and wait a few days between everything you try.
Yeah. But even though I have some burning still, I could introduce something new.
Well, I don't know. You'll have to now with the skin that's burning. Have you been applying the apple cider vinegar like with galls directly to the skin?
Yeah, I mean I didn't have to do anything yesterday, but then today it kind of started in the same area again.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't wait for it to start. I would apply it before. I wouldn't wait for it. I would do it. I would put the galls on when you feel nothing. So you have an area. You use the galls with apple cider vinegar. You taped it to that skin. It got clear. You take it off the night when you take a shower. I would put it back on. I wouldn't wait till the next day. I would put it back on.
Okay, for all the areas where.
Yeah, I would keep at it. You want to be aggressive. You don't want to give it 1 millimeter. You don't want to give it a chance. Okay.
And then but do you think I could start another food?
Again, that's up to you and your body to decide, and keep the diary to see if you react to it.
Yeah, I just don't want to get set.
I would try bananas. Try a banana. Wait 3 days.
Bananas are superfoods. Banana is a superfood.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Okay. Anyone else?
Hi, this is Nancy from South Carolina. How you doing?
Hi, Nancy. Good. You're coming good. You're coming good, loud and clear. Good. Thank you.
Terrific. Listen, I missed. I joined the call rather late. I'm sorry about that, but I'm doing very well. I've been on your diet now. I think this might be my 6th week. I've been nervous about going to stage 2, but I think I've started. I actually had a Granny Smith apple this week, and it worked, and I was fine, and I haven't itched or scratched or had extreme biting or anything happen. So I'm starting stage 2, and I'm excited to do that. And I didn't know if I would survive stage 1 when I first started it, but actually I was so excited that the first week that I started it, that I started to feel better so quickly that it made me just really commit to the diet, you know. Yes. I'm really just about itch free and scratch free, and I have maybe 1 or 2 little places where I look like I've had a bite, like in the past, that's healing over time, but I don't have any new bites, and I'm very, very happy with my results, and I just have a couple questions for you today. Go ahead. Are you going to say something?
Well, I just wanted to say the debriding cream that Richard sells, it's a cream, and it things that are healing, that are still there, it makes them go away really fast. Yes,
I'm using the MSM gel, and I'm also using the Claudia's Dream Cream on my head at night. That really totally did a number on my head, because I had a lot swimming in my eyes and in my nose, in my ears at first, and now they're completely. I don't have any swimming feelings anymore. So I'm real happy to report that the shower cap on at night with the Dream Cream and the MSM really, really works. I mean, it really is a powerful treatment. So I'm really pleased with it.
Great. I'd like to make one comment before you go on, because when we talk about making the diet work, I mean, there are many people out there who are maybe they have an intrepidation about doing the diet, or think, I can't work that good, or they've been trying the diet and they haven't got it to work. They just don't know how great life can be, Life is so damn great. Life is so damn great when that diet kicks in. You're afraid to go to stage 2. You're afraid to screw it up.
Exactly.
It's that great. So get off your duff and do the diet. Make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, it really does work. So anyway, my question is for you quickly, because I don't want to drag on here. I'm sorry. I bought an electrostatic sprayer because I've pretty much been really disinfecting the house and doing a good job, and finally things have stopped jumping on me from my chair and that sort of thing, from my favorite chair and all. And
that's real progress.
Yes, but I have a couple little hot spots in my bathroom, of course, where there's a lot of moisture, So we went back to spray. We had quit spraying ammonia every 3 days, and we've gone back to it. And now I've had a week now where there's been nothing jumping on me. But I want to hit the cabinets and all that stuff with the electrostatic sprayer, where I can't get to with spray ammonia and stuff. And so I bought one, and I wanted to ask you what you feel is the best disinfectant. Now, I bought some of your Benefect. It's in the mail, I think, coming to me. But I wanted to know if that's your number one. What do you feel is the best thing to use for that for the sprayer?
I think the Benefect is the best. But, you know, it's expensive, and the MediClean will do exactly the same thing. It's a lot less expensive, and so it's up to you. Except you're not going to use the MediClean in your kitchen around your utensils and your cabinet. All right, that's the only difference.
Okay. All right, great. I really appreciate that. That's great.
Sure.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So
Thank you very much.
The Benefect, you can eat that stuff, okay? It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. All right, great. That's that's perfect.
Any other questions?
Okay. I thought of other ones, but I can't remember them right now, so I'll have to call in next week.
Well, you can jump back in, and you can jump back in a few minutes if you want.
All right. Okay.
Just do *6 so you'll be muted, and then do *6 later when you want to jump back.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. Thanks very much.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Anybody else?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I am brand new to the call and just learned of it not too long ago, so I jumped on fairly late. But I may need to join maybe the call next Sunday just to get a better understanding and background. So for me, I don't know how personal you get on this call or what information is provided. But
well, you available tonight? I'll be right over. we get very personal. Well, there's the orientation video, which I recommend you start first, and that gives you an introduction to who I am, who Robin is, and who Ethel is. We also have Margie on the call. She'll be handling a segment that we go into next and it talks about the different aspects of the program. So that's a good place to start. This recording will be up on YouTube probably by Thursday or Friday, so you can listen to everything you missed today. And there are probably 50 other calls on YouTube, different topics that are discussed. You can also look at those and keep coming back here and ask any questions you may have. In the meantime, people who do the best with this program are those. We had a fellow share earlier that he had been to a doctor 8 times. To the same doctor 8 times, read the book 8 times. Make notes, and go to the doctor once. But never tell a doctor you think you have Morgellons. Never, ever. Never take a sample to your doctor. Never. Don't do that, because he'll put you in the loony bin category immediately. Okay? So keep coming back, and we have free coaching. Ethel and Robin are coaches, and you can communicate with Margie as well by email.
Okay. And how do I access the orientation video? Where is that at?
Did you receive an email that announced this program today?
No, my partner actually looped me in and just gave me the call to join in today, so I don't have any other background or information.
So you haven't gotten the book or anything?
No.
Oh, all right. So the best way to do it is to go to the main site, which is www. You got pencil handy?
I got it, yeah.
All right, debriding. D as in David, B as in boy, R-I-D-I-N-G, debriding, like cleaning, debridingsoap.com.
Richard, you left off E after D.
Oh.
Okay, can you spell that again? Okay.
Chris, go ahead.
D as in David, E as in Eric, B as in boy, R as in Robert, I as in India, D as in David, I as in India, N as in Nancy, G as in George. debridingsoap.com.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. All right. There, just put in your name. You can put in your phone number, and if you put your phone number, it gets forwarded to Ethel, and she'll be glad to talk to you about the program. She's our greeting coach. and you'll be taken to the book. You can download it. You can get the questionnaire. You'll start getting emails. You'll get the orientation video. You'll get everything. So that's the best way to get into the program. debridingsoap.com. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Keep coming back. In the meantime, you got this number. We're here every Sunday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, to be here for you guys.
And if you come earlier than 4, you get entered into a raffle for $20 off in the store or Richard's book.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. Another question from Sandy. She wants to know, can you use Benefact to spray electronics with a regular sprayer?
Well, with a regular sprayer, you just don't want to saturate anything. You just want to lightly spray.
Right.
Yeah, and really it's a hit or miss, because like even in a keyboard, it's hit or miss. It's better probably to wipe the keyboard than it is to spray it.
Right.
Because you get keyboard wet, that happened to me, and it's amazing. You lose 3 letters and you can't do anything. Right. You lose 1 letter and you can't do anything.
You can also put your electronics in a Ziploc bag with menthol crystals or Nuvon strips and let them sit for a few days, and then take them out, and that will help clear them.
That's an excellent. I'm glad you thought of that. Yeah.
And you can take them out when you use them, put them back in the bag, and they'll keep getting clear.
Right. Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions? We're on a roll here. We got a lot of great questions today.
Yeah, we did.
Hi, I have another question.
Yes.
Is this something that is contractable from one person to another, or? Because I asked because my partner is suffering with symptoms, but I don't have any, and so I'm just trying to troubleshoot and understand it and see why he's having symptoms and I'm not.
Well, thank you for asking that. That is a very, very controversial statement to me. Well, the Morgellons Association, or Morgellons Foundation, and the physicians associated with it, who are LLMDs, claim that it is not contagious, that one person can't pass it to another person. My experience, and dozens and dozens of people that email me and write me, and maybe these people that they just don't get emails or they don't talk to their people, I don't know. In fact, the Morgellons Foundation has a conference every year, or they were until COVID in Austin, Texas. I would never go, but from my experience, it can be highly infectious. Okay, that's semantics here, because we had a guest a few weeks ago, or about a month ago, who said, "Well, it's not contagious, but there can be an infectious. What's the difference if you end up itching and biting?" Now, our guest was talking strictly about Morgellons. We talk about mites. We talk about springtails, columbella, and they can bring Morgellons. So, let's not take, they're all we lump together. Now, the question is, it's contagious, it's infectious, but how many who are exposed to it, or what percentage of people who you come in contact with are susceptible? That we don't know.
Okay.
I don't think it's 1 out of 2. I don't think it's 4 out of 5. It might be 1 out of 10. We have many, many people who say, well, I have it, and I'm the only one in the family that has it, and everybody makes fun of me, and thinks I'm a nut and crazy and thinks I've been doing drugs again, and they don't believe me. And then I have people who say, I have it, my kids have it, my husband's got it, everybody in the family's got it. Okay? So we don't know. So it's possible that your spouse has it or your significant other has it and you don't contract it. Or maybe you'll contract it later. Or maybe you become a carrier and that if he gets rid of it, that you'll give it back to him if you don't disinfect and clean your body and disinfect your clothing.
Okay.
So we don't have any solid answers, but we just have a lot of red flags that we put up based on our experiences. And our experiences are not sitting in an ivory tower.
Right. Sure. and there's no known cause of this, correct?
The known cause, we had this as a discussion for quite some time, and you know, there are many theories about the known cause of this. It is not fungal. I mean, there are people doing YouTube videos that videotape things floating in the air and say, hey, it's Morgellons, it's fungal, and we measured it, it's all fungal. It's not. You know, it may be 90% of the people have Morgellons have fungal organisms, and that's why we do look at fungal as a part of it. And I talked about the enzymes and our approach to dealing with it. People say it's spirochetal, it's Lyme disease, but again, the research by the Morgellons Foundation in a trial study found 10 out of 12 had Lyme disease, not 100%. But there are many people who say, yes, it is, 100%. But
it can be a spirochete, but not the spirochete.
That is Lyme disease.
Lyme.
Well,
there are other spirochetes.
Yeah, venereal disease is a spirochete.
No, but I mean, it's a variation, according to Marianne Middleton. It's a variation of a Lyme spirochete. It's a Bartonella spirochete, which is Lyme related, but it's not exactly.
But in the research that I published, they found 10 out of 12 had a spirochete, and they weren't the same kind of spirochete. They didn't say 12 out of 12 had a spirochete. They found 10 out of 12, and there were 70% had one type of spirochete, and 30% had a different kind of spirochete. So there are many different spirochetes. Even the one that causes syphilis is a spirochete, and oftentimes gets misdiagnosed or overlooked simply because doctors aren't looking for that anymore. So from what I see, it is not Lyme disease, but 90% have Lyme disease. It is not an insect. There's one person that says Morgellons is a concrete-eating insect. You can actually find this website. It claims that the Morgellons actually can eat concrete. Well, I've had maybe 15% say that they have organisms that eat through tin cans, eat countertops, eat concrete, but Morgellons is not that insect. It can be a hijacker, that whatever that organism is can carry Morgellons and can be hijacked by Morgellons, but Morgellons isn't that. So there are a lot of theories. There's a theory that says Morgellons is a patented organism. It's discussed in my book. So, and there's a website to testify to that. I don't know if it's still up, but that's one of the theories. There are theories that it's created by chemtrails, and with the different metals. What are some of the different metals they drop on us, and that when we breathe them in, we get them into the stomach, and they assimilate into some kind of nanobot, some kind of basic IA intelligence that is able to communicate with HARP, H-A-R-P facilities around the world, and that these nanobots, for some reason or other, go crazy, and that could be because of glyphosate in our foods. It could be because of, there are a lot of things, and that's what creates it, and that the natural way of dealing with it is by taking boron. The antidote for Morgellons is boron. So there are a lot of, nobody knows what it really is. We can all speculate, but it is not any of those things necessarily, per se. And we don't care what it is. Yeah, if we could do something about it, and that's not to say that we shouldn't get rid of 5G and EMF as much as we can. It's not to say we shouldn't get rid of glyphosate, that's the herbicide created by Monsanto called Roundup. We should get rid of that stuff. It destroys the gut flora. And guess where Morgellons goes? To the gut. We have, what is it, leaky gut syndrome. Yeah. Never heard of it 30 years ago. Today, everybody's got leaky gut syndrome. All right. Well, that's because the gut flora is being destroyed. The mouth, the biome in the mouth gets destroyed. Talk to people that have been affected by Morgellons for 10 years. They're losing their teeth. The gums gone, So, yeah, we need to get rid of these things because they all factor in. And when you look at the program and when I make an assessment, we look at all those factors. And we even discuss what you can do in terms of dealing with EMF frequencies. So the recommendations get very finite in dealing with all these issues. We're going to be wrapping up pretty soon. Any more questions? Anybody else? And we'll move into the next segment. Okay, I guess that wraps up this segment.